Rashford, what a hit!
Hello everyone and welcome back to View from the Cop with me, Calvin, and of course Reshlin.
Hey guys.
I'm finally back after a bit of the flu. Anyway, we're here to discuss the pre-match game Chelsea versus Liverpool in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge this weekend. But before we get into that, we didn't do a recap video, like its own video of the game in the Carabao Cup, where Liverpool unfortunately lost 2-1. So we're quickly going to spend a minute just talking about that game. And yeah, getting through. First of all, Resh, your initial reaction and thoughts to that game?
Cal, so I think a lot of Liverpool fans, all the Liverpool fans went to bed last night with that taste of defeat.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. We went through that first half motions. It wasn't the easiest of watching, I think, for a lot of us. It was difficult to see Chelsea kind of dominate the game.
That first 20 minutes Chelsea sort of had.
That was tough.
We sort of had the second half of the first half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Second half we came on, we played some ball, we got the goal, and then came down to some questionable officiating. I feel I'm still a bit frustrated about how the match turned out. But we're slowly moving through that. We're slowly moving past that.
Yeah, look, I mean, Sturridge was the big opportunity. That was a big talking point. But he made up for it with quite a good technique to find the goal. He should have scored that one.
He did, he should have.
Yes, it might have been offside. Yes, Keita probably didn't actually foul. I can't remember who the Chelsea player was that went down. But in the end, the game was decided then, besides the refereeing, by a little piece of brilliance from Hazard.
You know what, Kaz? It kind of felt like it was a return to watching Liverpool of 2-3 seasons ago. It was a game that was about moments that could have went a certain way, that should have went this way, questionable officiating, and then it was decided by a brilliant goal being conceded from the opposition.
Yeah.
And it just...
Look, a hard pill to swallow. We're not going to spend too much time on it. You can check our player ratings out on the corner of the video right there. A few mentions. Shaqiri, I thought, was our best performer.
He was.
He sort of tried to create things, got on the ball and made a few movements and really contributed to us going forward. Worst performer, I'd say, was Alberto Moreno. Dived into a few tackles, got caught out of position or too tight, got turned easily. Yes, if we're being hypercritical, Hazard basically walked all around him for Hazard's goal, but like we said, Hazard was brilliant.
It's going to be interesting to see if Klopp actually plays him again, because Sarri saw Moreno as the weakest link in our defense, and he played Hazard on the left, on the right instead of the left, to target that weakness. So interesting to see if Klopp trusts him again in that position.
I think we'll just mention Fabinho for his debut game. Struggled in the first half, but really kept Fabregas quiet in the second half and grew into the game. Unfortunate for him, his first full game was a loss.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, a plus for Fabinho and a plus for the entire team that they kind of, despite not playing a lot of football, came into it in the second half. So
I think with 9 changes, Liverpool played fairly well and were unlucky in the end. I think that's a good way to summarize that game. Difficult pill to swallow, our first loss after 7 straight victories.
And guys, don't forget that when Arsenal finished as the Invincibles in 2004, they didn't make it in the League Cup. No one counted that.
There's some positive right there. All right, so let's get to why we're actually here.
Yeah.
Chelsea versus Liverpool at Stamford Bridge.
Yes, round 2.
This weekend. All right, so we're going to start with team news. And I know from a Liverpool side, I think the only thing we're talking about is the fact that Van Dijk is recovered from his rib knock and he's ready to start. Chelsea, any specific team news there?
Thank the football gods that Van Dijk is back. The Chelsea news, same news really that applied to the last game. Rudiger is a doubt with a slight knock, and then Pedro might be out. So it's going to be interesting to see. Rudiger and Pedro are both first team players. Yeah. Interesting to see how they make up given their team's exertions already from Wednesday.
I've got Pedro and Azpilicueta in my fantasy team, so I'm a little undecided on how I want things to go. No, I'm kidding. I want Liverpool to win, of course. Maybe Azpilicueta scores and Liverpool wins. All right, so Rudiger and Pedro.
Rudiger and Pedro out, yeah.
Is Rudiger out or is he?
We don't have a confirmation, but I mean, he wasn't on the bench for the last game. So,
all right. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much the team news. We're not going to spend too much time there. So let's go into the lineup, and then we'll go into how we think the game's actually going to play out.
Yeah.
So for Liverpool, I think both of us here feel like we are going to see our basic 11 back on the field, our best 11, should I say, with our more defensive players in midfield. So we're going to see Alisson, Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson as our defenders. Midfield, we are saying Milner, Henderson, and Gini Wijnaldum. And up front, we're going to see our usual 3, Mane, Firmino, and Salah. All right. From Chelsea side, I think they're also going to revert back to their basic team.
Yeah, and I think their team is going to be slightly more ragged than ours, thankfully. So their team should look like it has for the past few games. It'll be Kepa and goal, obviously. Their back four will probably be Marcus Alonso, David Luiz, and who's their right back? Cesar Azpilicueta, who played that 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Rudiger possibly would be out. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes in to fill that centre back role.
Whether he goes Cahill or whether he goes Azpilicueta and Zappacosta on the right, or Azpilicueta on
potentially,
the right.
Potentially. Or one of Christensen or Cahill, who both played most of the game, might come in for this game. So we may see some tired centre backs from a Chelsea perspective. In their midfield, they're probably going to go with their strongest midfield, which is Kovacic, Kante, and Jorginho, who will be back for that game. He was rested for the entire Liverpool game. So that's a big thing for Sarri.
We'll talk about the midfield battle shortly.
And then the front three Giroud should return after getting a full rest as well. So he'll return in that centre forward position, and he's likely to be flanked again by Hazard on the left, and then with Pedro out, it should be Willian who returns to play on that right wing.
Yeah, so we're expecting a very strong, very attacking Chelsea team as well.
Yeah.
So that's the 11s. We're not going to get into too much detail around the lineup and who might be on the bench, etc. But let's talk about how this might play out. Now, bearing in mind the results on last night, we're filming this on Thursday. Liverpool, do they have to win this? I see them going there a little more conservative, hoping to get something with their front three. I'm expecting that midfield battle to be where this game is won and lost, if you ask me.
Kaz, to your question of do Liverpool have to win this, I think after winning 7 in a row, I went into Wednesday's game taking it very seriously.
True.
So for me, Liverpool do have to win this. It's going to be an absolute statement if they have to win it at Stamford Bridge. I won't be too phased if you come away with a 1-1 draw, for example, but any fan would want Liverpool to win this, right?
Right.
In terms of their battle in the midfield, we saw how Sarri's game works. We saw how Sarri ball played out at Anfield, and it's only going to be stronger at Stamford Bridge, right? Yeah. So we expect a lot of possession from Chelsea again.
So the way I'm seeing it is Jorginho playing that deep line playmaker role, Kovacic and Kante making those driving runs. You know, we've seen Kante recently late runs into the box trying to get on the end of a whooped in or a floated in cross as well. So I think that's exactly what we're going to see again. We're going to see Jorginho one touch, trying to lay it off to Willian or Hazard on the wings. The boys in the midfield running in those channels, trying to support Giroud up front. We're not going to see something, I don't think anything amazingly different from Chelsea because they've played amazingly well with the current system they're using.
What we should see though is more spoiling from a Liverpool perspective. So we didn't see that in the first half at Anfield on Wednesday. We didn't see the midfield and our front three consistently and effectively press Chelsea out of position and force them to make mistakes in their half.
Absolutely.
We should see this with our front three and
with our usual middle and our usual front three.
Hopefully, yeah.
So that's why I say I feel it's so important how if Liverpool are going to come away with the result, we're going to end up saying Henderson, Milner and Wijnaldum were amazing today because we know this. Every time Liverpool do really well in a tough game, we end up commenting on how brilliant the guys in midfield performed.
Yeah, that work rate's going to have to be a step above what it was in midweek. Absolutely.
All right, so we're expecting our battle to be in midfield. Of course, we know that Chelsea have talent across the board, wide as well as in the midfield, so it's going to be tough. We're expecting Robertson and Arnold to also have their hands full with Hazard and Willian, and they'll need to be supported by the centre backs as well as at midfield as well. So we're expecting a high intensity, high work rate game. Chelsea at home will obviously be the ones responsible for bringing the attacking football, but I don't think Jurgen Klopp is going to shy away from attacking himself.
I don't think so. I mean, Chelsea, Sarri ball isn't similar to Pep's style of football, but it is possession-based. And we've seen what Liverpool can do to possession-based teams. We saw it last season with Man City. We saw how the press works against teams that like to keep the ball. And I'm kind of hoping that is the deciding factor in the game on Saturday.
Absolutely. I think it'll pivot on how much time Jorginho has on that ball. If he gets the time and space he needs, he can be really effective. If Liverpool can press him, we can probably snatch the goal to win the game as well. All right, so we're going to leave it there with our thoughts on how the game might play out. Don't forget to let us know how you think the game might play out this weekend. Before we head off, prediction. We have to go predictions. How do you think? Final score?
I want to win. Everyone wants to win, but I've been hardened by watching Liverpool football over the past few seasons, so I'm a very realistic fan. And for me, I won't be upset with taking a 1-1 away from Stamford Bridge and a very, very strong Chelsea team at home. You can't.
Look, I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to roll the dice and say Liverpool to win this 2-0.
Okay, I hope you are right, and I hope I'm wrong.
I am expecting 2 goals. I'm expecting one in the first half, one in the second half, and Liverpool to win it 2-0.
2-0.
2-0. That's my prediction. I might be bold, but if I'm right, everyone's going to be happy, right? Alright, so I think that's where we wrap it up. Guys, if you enjoy our content, don't forget to leave a like, comment, tell us what you think we could do better as well, and subscribe, of course, if you want to see more of this and want to be notified every time we release a video. Follow us on Twitter as well. Links in the description. You never walk alone. That's been A View from the Cop.